most favorite animals that I like to work with personally. Don't tell the other animals I said that. But this guy right here, I kind of want to premise my presentation with a quick disclaimer regarding Benjamin here. This is his name. It's my job as an animal care specialist to make sure that he's comfortable out here on the stage. So if for any reason Benjamin is letting me know that he is feeling rather uncomfortable, he'd rather go home, I have to listen to him, okay? So we're here for him. He runs the show, so I hope you folks understand it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. So thank you. I appreciate that very much. I'm sure that Benjamin likes that as well. Now, Benjamin here is a Eurasian eagle owl, often mistaken for other owls like great horned owl, which is what we're accustomed to seeing here in North America. He's going to be the European Asian cousin of the horned owl species. And one of the most defining features of these two owl species are these ear tufts, which are on either side of his head here. These cute little ear tufts right here. These are kind of like, I kind of like to call them the eyebrows of the owl. They kind of let him, or kind of helps him communicate to other birds how he's feeling. So right now they're at neutral, which means that he's chilling out right now, but he has full muscular control of these two ear tufts right here. So he can prop him up really straight up and make himself look really big. That's kind of like his challenge me kind of pose. He is looking at that tree line over there. I do suspect that he might have caught sight of some bird of prey. If you ever get a chance today while you're walking around the zoo, take a look at the air, the skies, because we have different types of wildlife flying in the air there. So we have like red shoulder hawks, we have red-tailed hawks. I've seen a Cooper hawk fly around here a couple times as well, so he's keeping an eye out for not just himself, but me as well. So that's why I'm paying close attention to what he's doing right now. So perfect, he is looking at that tree lining. I think he sees something over there. How many of you have ever heard of owls having really good eyesight? I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a pretty popular fact that a lot of people know about owls as it is. Now, Benjamin's eyesight here is so good. Let me give you a really cool statistic about owl eyesight here. First and foremost, when we're looking at Benjamin's eyeballs, we're looking at the smaller end of the eyeball. The owl eyeballs are very uniquely shaped. They're actually kind of shaped like a bell, and they get larger and larger as they go further back into their skull. So Benjamin's eyeballs take about 70% of his skull capacity alone. His eyeballs are humongous, which means that doesn't leave room for anything else, like a brain, right? Yeah, how many of you have ever heard of the wise old owl? Yeah, urban legend, they actually tested for that too. So moving on to his eyesight here. Let's say that in theory, what if I took him to an American football stadium and I put him on one end zone and I walked all the way to the other end of the football stadium with a big newspaper and I held it up for him and he could read? He would be able to read the newspaper print easily from the other side there. That's how really good his eyesight is. So owl eyeballs are really fascinating, and they are very good at looking at things from far away. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the eyeballs, but Ben here can actually see and hear very well as well. And oh my gosh, who's that over there? I'm so happy that Chris decided to show up today. Now, this guy right here, a very special treat. We weren't sure if he was going to come out today, actually. This is a fully grown owl as well. This is a western burrowing owl species. Now, to give you a good idea of just how big and small owls can get as a species, we've got one of the largest species right here with me, and then we also have Button Willow. This is his name. We call him Button for short. He is along one of the smaller ones, but he is a fully grown male. He's 6 years old. So Button Willow over here weighs about the size of half a can of Coke. And I'm wondering, with that being said, can anyone give me some guesses as to how heavy you think Benjamin here is today? How much do you think he weighed in? You are saying 2 pounds back there. Very good. Any other guesses? 20 pounds. Okay. I got 3 in the back, 5 in the back there. Okay. Any other guesses? 4? Sir, you got it right. It's 4 pounds. Very good. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yes, 4 pounds is exactly how much Benjamin weighed this morning. Now, it is a little misleading. Sir, the one that said 20 pounds, you must think I'm a very strong girl. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. Yes, but it's kind of misleading, right? These birds, they are full of plumage, feathers, right? And their bone structure is not like yours or mine, like mammals. If you looked at their bone structure, it's kind of like a honeycomb type shape on the inside there. It makes them nice and lightweight so that they can fly in the air. Yes. So this is a good example of just how big they are, but how light they are. Now Benjamin here, his wingspan is 5 feet long, which is a whole me. I am exactly 5 feet tall. So if you were to spread his wings out and we put him sideways, it would be exactly a whole me. Now being a male owl here, he's going to be along the smaller end of the size spectrum. Females will be almost about double the size. They'll be about 8 pounds and a 6-foot wingspan. Pretty magnificent animals, yes. And if you take a look at their plumage here as well, you're going to kind of notice, if you look really close here, I'm not sure if you folks can see it from back there, but what I really like about owl species in particular is how their feathers are compared to other birds. You'll notice that, let me see if I can turn him right here. You'll see kind of like the edges of his feathers here are kind of frayed. Folks can see that a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or catch a glimpse of that, but how many of you have ever heard of owls having the capability of silent flight?
Yep.
Yeah, owls have that ability to fly silently so they can sneak up on their prey items, and what gives them that capability is the structure of their feathers here. They have a lot of spacing in between the fibers there, and that allows for a lot of airflow, which gives them that silent flight feature. There's only one species on the entire planet that has ever been able to hear an owl coming up from behind, and that is the kangaroo rat. As the only animal that has evolutionarily adapted to listening to owls coming up from behind there. But other than that, they have duped the other prey species here. Now, for buttonwillow over here, he's going to be feeding on a lot of grubs and smaller like baby mice and things like that, bugs among the like. But what we'd like to highlight with buttonwillow here is some of the very important conservation work that he's actually been helping the San Diego Zoo. One of our conservation hubs is right here locally in San Diego County. One of the species, western burrowing owl populations, are actually listed as endangered in San Diego due to habitat loss with a lot of the land development here. It's in their name. So if burrowing owls are out on the prowl, where do you think burrowing owls are typically living throughout the day? Where do they live? Do they live up in the trees? They live down below. They're burrowing owls, right? So they live underneath the ground. In fact, they have a symbiotic relationship with ground squirrels out here in San Diego County. So the ground squirrels do the hard work of building all the burrows. And when they leave, these burrowing owls say, neat, that's a great space for me to hang out in. They live underneath the ground there, so with a lot of the land development, leveling out with concrete, they're having a lot of trouble trying to find homes. And last I saw in the literature, there's only 70 mating pairs left in San Diego County. So this is a very big mission here in the San Diego Zoo to help conserve this species. And what we're doing now for this species is we're relocating all of these western burrowing owl species to green spaces that we find here in San Diego County. So places like Ramona, it's a pretty good place for them. But if you can imagine, the researchers, we can't just take all of these burrowing owls, bring them to a new space, drop them off, and then wash our hands clean and say, that's it, the job's done. We got to make sure that they are thriving too, right? So the researchers developed this really cool GPS backpack for the burrowing owl species to wear. But if you can imagine, we can't just slap on a GPS backpack on any wild burrowing owl species, right? We have to test that out. So Buttonwillow's job here was to test a lot of beta tests, a lot of different types of backpacks and things like that. He looked like he had a small little antenna coming out his back. It was very cute. But yes, he was able to test that out, and it was our job to sit and observe and make sure that Buttonwillow could fly, that he could burrow, that he could feed, he could interact and socialize and all the good stuff. And we reported our findings back to the researchers so that they can start using that GPS backpack on the wildlife populations there. And if you yourself are interested in seeing what the progress is for that research study and that conservation project, you can visit sdzwa.org and you can actually see some live camera footage of some of the wildlife out there. So thank you very much for coming to the San Diego Zoo today. You are contributing to that very important conservation work that we do on a day-to-day basis here at the San Diego Zoo. Now, we are running out of time here on this stage, and I kind of want to extend a handout to all of you folks if you have any questions for me about owls, or have I covered most of the facts here today, or do you have any questions for me? Go ahead and raise your hand. This is your time to ask me or Chris.
Cut it out.
Psych, Chris is leaving. Bye, Chris. He's a burrowing owl species. He's usually looking for those predators. Usually he's diurnal, which means that he's awake during the daytime and asleep during the nighttime. So he's actually not nocturnal. Very cool stuff. Now, folks, I'm going to go ahead and hop off the microphone, but I'm going to go ahead and invite you to come up to the stage so you can get some pretty good photos of Ben. This is my most favorite time, so I can chat with you guys off microphone. But if you have other places to be, I'd like to thank you so much for coming out today here at the San Diego Zoo. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.